Welcome into Mindset. I am Brad Barrett, as always, producer Jared and the lovely Kira. Today is for you entrepreneurs. Today is for all those who are looking to start a business and really kind of some advice.
Some points and some examples about who did it right,
Yep.
who did it wrong.
Yep.
To help you along the way. So for those entrepreneurial types, we have 5 wonderful tips. 5.
We
Count
do.
them. Probably
And
more, but 5
There's
names.
probably more. The first one, I think, if you're looking at this at all to start off with, is problem solving. Like, you've heard this concept before, right? Of solving a need.
Yeah, I've heard of problem solving before.
The way I said that was odd.
You ever
You ever heard
this?
problem solving before?
I did go to elementary school.
Good. I was
They
just
taught
testing
us
you.
those,
I was
yeah.
just testing you.
Right.
Making sure it's not just a cool idea you have. Like, you ever had those things you're talking about, like, oh, buddy, that'd be a great idea. We could patent that. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But is it solving a problem?
And I'll let me add to that. A real problem that affects more than like 4 people in the world.
Agreed. Like, if it's something you and your homies are like dealing with, it's like, yeah, it's just an us thing. Or if it's an actual need that can be scaled, as they say.
Yes.
Right.
If there's no need for it, it's obviously not going to be successful.
You ever want to start a business?
No. Well,
Like, you and your
no.
girls ever got together one time and be like, oh, that'd be a great idea?
The only like really good idea I've ever had was
Don't blow it, because someone might steal it.
No, it's already gone.
It's already gone.
That's why
it happened.
When I was little, I was like, it'd be awesome. I don't know why I thought this. Okay, no shade to anyone.
How old were you when you were thinking this?
Like 5 or 6.
Okay, so
I was
young.
like, there's some women that I feel like might need like a butt bra. Fast forward,
Okay.
Spanx, Skims, all the above, made
You're
shapewear.
saying you had that idea first.
I have so many
I'm
questions.
not saying that I had it first. I'm just saying like,
Notice the need first.
I noticed that I could solve a problem.
There you go.
To that point,
is that a real problem?
To be fair, it's a problem, but
Shapewear,
the
yeah.
best
Sure.
businesses, in my opinion, that I've seen and from successful ones, exist because something is painful or something is slow or expensive, and you're trying to fix something. You're trying to make it faster or not as expensive, cheaper, whatever you want to call it, or just flat out annoying. And you're trying to like fix something that's more convenient. Like, think of all the products, all the services, all the technology that we have today. It was solving something. It was solving a need.
And we have some fun examples for those that are, a little more visual, like that kind of thing. I found Airbnb.
Oh.
I found was a good example.
That's a good example.
These founders, they were noticing that they were going places and hotels were getting real expensive and booking out. They wanted to go to a conference and all the hotels were sold out. So
That's right. I remember that.
It was an opportunity for locals around there to make a little extra money. They get paid right away.
Yeah.
I think a real problem that had a quite elegant solution.
Well, from a real estate perspective, it's an amazing thing for homeowners to get rental. I mean, I have a lot of clients who literally have separate properties that only Airbnb. They're not actual like rental properties. They're just for Airbnb, which I guess is technically a rental, but
Yeah.
So.
And we'll give a couple counter examples. It's sometimes you learn more from what people did wrong.
I agree. I agree with this.
Like, these are businesses that didn't actually solve any issues.
No.
And fell flat on their face.
There's tons of apps that fit under this. And I found one that, I don't know if you guys remember this. It was an app called Yo. Well, the app...
YO?
YO. The app was designed so you could send the word yo to people. It was just like, almost like tagging, but you send yo to people. And it kind of blew up really quick. People were like, yo, 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 yo.
Yeah.
And
Wait, I'm confused.
it was in 2014, millions of users it got, and big name investors came in and put money into this thing. And it really like blew up. And then all of a sudden people were like, well, all it does is do yo. And it just disappeared quickly. People lost millions of dollars.
Interesting. I never heard about that. Yeah.
But it was a fun, kitschy little thing that like, oh, cool, let's do an app. And you do that and you can tag your friends. But one of those examples of like, oh, this would be kind of cool, succeeds and then dies because you're not really doing anything.
Agreed.
You're not going to be able to sustain that.
Hey, good for trying though.
Sure. Or you...
But then they
money.
didn't listen to the advice we're giving, which is solve a problem, not something that you're going for like 5 of you.
Well, that's why we're making this video.
All right, number 1, so solving a problem is big key. Number 2, start small, test fast. You heard this term before? Like this like you want to like basically what we're trying to say is don't wait for perfection. Wow, can't say that. Don't wait for perfection.
Like test and test and spend
Right.
years and years
Go at
in
it.
development.
Yeah,
Analysis
try it.
paralysis.
Yeah, like
good.
you will get more by being active in something than never moving at all. And I just think that's really important for all of us to hear for anything you're doing, right? But it's specifically for business. Launch a scrappy version of something. It's not going to be the best. Don't get, dialed into the perfectionism, right? Get some customers, figure out the feedback loop, which is what they call it, like the feedback loop of what you think is manifested, what you're doing, and then what you're hearing from real live customers is really cool. And then learn from that process. It's pretty simple.
Get real world data.
Start small, test fast.
And there's a great example of this. And so the company is Dropbox.
Yep.
So what they did was they basically created a little demo video and put it out there and started a referral program, started getting signups for like, do you like this idea? Do you like this idea? Resulted in thousands of people signing up. So they knew they had that. And, Dropbox, we all use it. It's basically cloud storage. And they basically started small, limited users, and then started to grow. But they got it out. They started testing really quick. Who would like this?
That's smart.
Started to build that.
And I'm sure when they initially launched it, it probably wasn't even the best version of what it is today.
Oh, not even
close. That's my point, right?
Also have another one that we're all familiar with.
Go for it.
A food truck.
I love food trucks.
Massively popular, but a lot of chefs now, rather than opening a brick and mortar, which is super expensive, are coming out with food trucks, building, what do you call them?
Well, that's when the technology of social
Followings.
media is all of a sudden like allowed you to test this a little bit, create like in the Dropbox example. I know a couple of friends are doing some certain things that are like trying to build an email base or trying to build a subscriber base of things that are, to test interest, right? That's a good way of kind of dipping your toes in, if you will, to kind of figure out, hey, is this something people are into? Are they just lying to me? You still got to kind of do some action and get into it, but still, it's a good way to kind of like, that's actually a great example. The Dropbox in particular, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ghost kitchens now too. You heard of those?
Ghost
Is this
kitchens?
the neighborly thing?
Kind of. Yeah, it's like a larger scale one. But ghost kitchens, like essentially restaurants like BJ's or Wingstop or something like that, instead of renting the whole space, whatever, they'll rent to somebody who wants, maybe to have a kitchen but doesn't want to pay for the brick and mortar. And then they're only available on, Grubhub or DoorDash or stuff like that. So you'll see all these restaurants that don't actually exist, like you can't drive up to them, but they share a kitchen with a larger restaurant.
Interesting.
It's a really good idea. Low overhead. You want to test out your recipes and how people like your food.
Mm-hmm.
For those that need a little encouragement to start small, I made a list of 10 companies, famous, large brands we all know, companies that started in garages.
Ooh, can I name a couple?
Yes.
Are they-
How many? Oh, yeah. Let's play a fun game.
Well, I know Apple started in a garage.
That is correct.
Microsoft.
That is correct.
Dell?
That is correct.
What?
Nice job. That's 3 out of 10.
Johnson & Johnson.
No.
Netflix?
No.
Spotify?
No. You guys started off so strong.
So strong. Any
Those
banks?
are the
Any
ones
banks
that I
on
knew
there?
for sure.
No banks. No banks, right?
No.
Can banks start out of a garage?
Not really. I'm just saying
I
like
was like, I
the
feel like
the
there's like a lot
formation
of
of, hey,
regulations.
my buddy
Stacks
and
of money lined up in the garage.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's probably a bunch of like shipping. Amazon.
Correct.
Duh.
He started as an online bookstore
Yeah.
in his garage.
Yeah.
All right. What are the other ones?
6 more? No more guesses?
Nope.
Facebook?
No.
I was in a dorm room.
The dorm room.
Have you seen the
Oh
movie?
my gosh.
You've got 40%, which is a failing grade.
Okay.
So here's the 6 you
That
missed.
actually makes me really upset.
I mean, like, when you put it like that.
Yeah. No, be disappointed. You guys are terrible.
Be disappointed. You're awarded no points. May God have mercy on your soul.
Google.
Google.
Google started in
Duh.
California.
Yahoo.
Nope.
Oh.
Hewlett Packard.
What is it?
HP.
Hewlett Packard. Started in Palo Alto garage with just $538 in capital. Hewlett
Wait,
Packard.
HP like computers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Walt Disney Company. Him and his brother started a cartoon studio in his uncle's garage in LA.
Wow.
Mattel toys.
Oh, yeah.
All heard of those?
Wow.
Started off crafting picture frames.
Interesting.
Harley Davidson started off in a garage. And the last one is Nike. Famously started. He made his first
Made his.
templates on the waffle maker.
What?
Okay.
And started in the garage.
That's sick.
These
I
are
actually knew that
billion-dollar companies that started small. So you could start the next Amazon in your garage.
You could. It could be you. Okay, so number 3, speaking of Amazon or just in general, right? Know your customer better than they know themselves. I wrote that down that way for a reason because I think it's important. You got to know who you're serving. By the way, this dovetails off of number 2 because it's like you're testing it, trying to figure out that feedback loop of what they're trying to say, right?
And
So knowing who
back
you're
to
serving.
one, solving a problem.
Yeah. understand their habits, talk to them constantly, understand their fears, their budgets, their decision triggers, the things that get them moving. When you figure out how your product or service is figuring it, you get that feedback loop. You can then go back to number 2 and start retesting it and go to version 2.0 and 3.0 and so on and so forth, right?
Sometimes it gets so frustrating because somebody will change a product and you'll be like, or an update or something,
Yeah.
will come and like, you couldn't have asked anybody who used this product and said that was a good idea.
I will gladly call out Apple on this one because this one bugged me. Remember when they switched the...
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm like,
yes.
there is no way this wasn't to sell headphones and your AirPods. Because I'm sorry, I now can't listen to my music and charge my phone at the same time. That bugs me. That bothers me a lot.
For like 4 series, they changed it every time.
100%.
So you had to
They basically overnight, I don't know, we can go on a whole thing. Basically overnight said, hey, by the way, if you own this phone, you have to also get a different headset or get the adapter for the
A
headphones.
dongle? I love a dongle.
A dongle.
That's the name of the adapter.
What's it called?
A dongle.
Nah, that's not real.
No, it is.
That's a real name for that
Yes.
adapter?
Yeah.
Well, dongles, yeah, they're typically the USB things that put in.
I never knew that.
What does dongle mean?
It's called a dongle. That's a terrible name.
Phone talks to dongle. Dongle talks to headphones.
Okay. I don't know why I found that.
Word
Okay.
of the day, dongle.
Look,
You're
at number
welcome.
3, great marketing, believe it or not, actually comes from your clients. It comes from knowing what they're wanting to see and marketing to them. So as you test your product, as you're figuring out the problem you're just trying to solve, right, this customer level obsession, if you will, is where marketing comes from, and then ultimately helps them understand your service and product even better.
I would add another
fine with
layer
me.
to this, personal connection, not just knowing them, but having a connection. And I think I read examples of small businesses of like barber shops, salons.
Yeah,
Like the
there's a
barber
personal
shop,
relationship to it.
when I grew up in Indiana, I went to the same barber for years and years and years. All my friends did. I would go in and he'd be like, hey, how's the job? Hey, how'd that thing work out, a couple months ago? He knew my friends. Like, we knew because we walked in. He's like, dude, this guy knows me. He cares. I'll pay more
100%.
for being remembered or good service or that personal connection.
You feel known, you feel seen. It's like Cheers, where everyone knows your name, right? There's a comfort. That's a human element. You can create that in business. Shout out to my barber I see every 5 days. Cam, what's up, dude?
5 days.
Oh, heck yeah. Every Sunday. Oh, so sorry, 6 or 7 days. Every Sunday afternoon. That's where I am.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Hey, man, it's your thing.
I have an example.
Go for it.
Oh.
Sephora. Shout out.
It would be Sephora.
Oh.
That's not a, come on.
That was a shot.
That wasn't a shot, per se.
Because I'm a girl.
I mean, I'm just saying.
The girl brings up Sephora.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Just going to say it over here then.
Hey, we'll talk about Sephora.
Yeah, so
I want to be involved, guys.
so they have a loyalty program.
Of course they do.
I'm leaving all this in, and
I'm done.
you're going to
I'm
regret
done.
all of
I'm
this.
sorry. Veronica probably knows they have a loyalty program. In fact, Kate's getting on the train.
Everyone's got a loyalty program.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just
But continue
like
with
them.
Sephора's
But
loyalty.
apparently that's wrong.
No, it's not. It's not wrong.
Whatever.
Sorry. It's actually a good, for
They
business owners,
offer-
it's smart.
I'm telling my stat now, okay?
Okay, sorry.
Thanks.
shut it.
They offer personalized product recommendations, and then they also offer in-store beauty consultations.
More business, Brad. Even if you hate
Do
everyone
you have a
there
subscription to Sephora?
and everyone
Yeah,
that shops
I
there,
have their credit card.
See? And by the way, that's another one.
I've been into one.
You get
I
10%
think
back.
I've been on. Yeah, so there are all these things that we know of that happens to us as consumers. You flip the script and kind of say, okay, now I'm the business owner. How do I do that? It's a
Yeah.
good model. Jokes aside, it is a good model.
Yeah.
I got you to come back.
Huh?
It got you to come back,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Versus going to what's the other one? Ulta.
Oh, I also love them.
See, I'm just saying, but you have a card, it's Sephora, and theoretically, if you can get the same thing there, but they know your name, they give you a beauty thing, you got 10% on the credit card.
Well, because I'm a girl and I know
didn't
things,
say that.
they
That's
sell
not what
different things at each store.
Oh,
so.
okay, well, still.
But I would say the people that do those consults probably remember the people.
Oh, for
You'll
sure.
go back to I'm going to go back to my Janet or whatever and talk to her about whatever.
Janet,
That personal connection.
good old Janet.
Hairdressers, nail salons.
I will say
The point of service is accurate. That's
Yeah.
know your customer is a big deal.
props to, I read this, I don't know if it's true. Allegedly, Jeff Bezos famously left an empty chair in meetings to represent the customer.
Whoa, I like that.
Which I dig that because I think the way I see it, a lot of boardrooms.
It's a good visual.
Yeah, they forget who they're servicing.
Good. One thing I was talking to my partners about, like we've been around for 25 years now, and we've always had the client first because that's our business. We're in a service model. We don't sell products per se, right? So having that in mind, being in a service, and I think many people out there who do service know that the product can be somewhat faceless, right? If you're selling a product, it's somewhat faceless. When you're doing a service, whether it's you personally, like we all still do it because we're advisors meeting with people, one-on-one, but like when it's a service, it's much more intertwined. So you're kind of automatically thrown into this know your customer and get to know them, which is really cool. Like the clients that I know, we go through a lot together, and that's really cool because I think people want to be heard and they want to be seen.
And remember, the age-old saying, the customer's always right.
Customer's always right. All right, number 4. Now we get into the meat of things. Cash flow. Look, as an advisor, let me say this. Cash flow matters more than hype, okay? How you operate your business. Literally the other day, I was having this conversation. I'm not kidding you. Their top line was 7 figures, okay? Their margin was basically 0. Meaning they had really high numbers on the top line coming in, gross, like all in, but once they paid everything out, they weren't making any money. The owner wasn't even taking a draw, no income, no salary, no nothing.
Wait, I zoned out. Who are you talking about?
Who, what now?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Did you say a company name?
No.
Oh.
This was a
example?
A referral example. I was talking to a client who came in with their billing department, their partners. I was doing a whole meeting right here in the conference room, just over there.
Was it that boring?
Blacked out for a second.
Yeah. This was actually important what I was saying.
It's like, what company was this?
I mean, it wasn't a company. It wasn't specific. Okay. It was a company, but it wasn't. My point in saying this is
continue.
Cash flow matters. Revenue keeps you alive is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
It sounds basic, but I was just about to say people use.
But hold on. No. Let me. And these people are awesome. I really, really like them. And you could see they've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And they were like, man, we got good contracts, right? But we're not making any money. Now, on paper, when you say that, well, duh. But there's a high in the relationships you can in serving a need. They were doing a really good service model for their clients. They just hadn't figured out, but to get to that point, their cost of goods, their cost of operating the business were so high, and they're in an industry specifically that's very delayed in their accounts receivable. You might be out there and saying, oh, I'm a big business. I make we gross $10 million a year, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, great. What are you making? Nothing?
Have you heard of WeWork?
Mm-hmm.
This is the example that I saw because I remember.
Yeah. What's WeWork?
I feel like this is like somebody made a documentary on this. It was so bad.
I think they did. It was really terrible model.
It was a company.
I mean, the idea was really cool. That's the weird part was,
I don't even know what the idea, but I remember hearing
it was kind of like a Regis. They were they were renting out space for people to work remotely in a communal space. Right. And it looked really cool and sexy. It was like this, like you looked in a corporate building.
You share the conference room, you share that.
Yep.
Well, cool. I mean, I remember they had massive media attention. They got
huge
billions.
Yep.
In funding.
Yep.
And when I was reading up on them, it's weak fundamentals almost collapsed because their revenue didn't match what they were doing. And they had a lot of long-term things, but had a lot of overhead early. Mm-hmm. And to have something go so bad when you have like so much hype and literally billions invested. And
the problem is it happens a lot. Like it's not the people's it's not the business owner's fault sometimes. Like this was like my example the other day was these are genuine people doing a really good service. We just had to tweak figuring out how they're going through it, right? Because understanding that profits keeps you alive, it sounds like a duh thing, but it's harder when you're in it and you have contracts, you are doing the work and you're getting paid, but it's delayed and you're taking on debt to do it. It becomes this like quicksand environment. And let me just say right now, fancy branding, press, social buzz, all the stuff that you can do to outsell yourself won't save a business if that business is running out of money. Track your numbers early, track your numbers often. I'll say there. All right, last point I want to make. Okay, I said this in the top, but I want to end with this. This is a big key moment, okay? Consistency beats motivation. Discipline beats motivation. You will be motivated. You will feel hot to trot. You will get that coffee buzz. You will think it's the next best thing and you have this idea and you coined it on something. But let me tell you something. 3 months in, 3 years in, 10 years in, my question to you is, are you still in it? That is the one marker and it's not a sexy thing. I know it's not this dangling thing. It's not fun. It's not this activation mode, but like that's what separates the right or wrong term, men from the boys. That's what separates longevity and kind of seeing it through.
Inspiration will only take you so far without that next step, being
100%.
motivated to keep it going.
100%. And I think the one flaw that I see, and it's everyone has it. I'm not saying it's an individualistic thing or it's your fault or something like that, but the one flaw we as humans have is we get lost in motivation and realize that discipline actually matters most.
Yeah.
I see it in the investing world all the time. That's actually a super common trait, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff together. I'm gonna pay off my debt. I'm like, yeah, well, call me in 3 months. Let's see, right? Or when volatility hits in the market, like, are you still investing? You know what I mean? Like, it matters. So setting systems is a big key here. The one way to get around this, if you don't feel like you have, is setting systems. Saying, look, these are non-negotiables. Setting systems in your play. This is good for your personal life too.
Good example of this now. I love this story now that I've read more of it. I didn't like the company before, but Spanx. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've read into the story. Hopefully this is all accurate. Sarah Blakely, she's the founder. Started with $5,000 she saved, and she did everything herself, including writing her own patent. And I don't know if any of you have ever looked into that, but it is an extremely difficult, time-consuming thing that you usually hire a lawyer for. Yeah. And it's this whole thing in research. Like, mad respect for her for doing that. But she did everything and just kept going at it. She was rejected by I want to say 150. Yeah. Allegedly, somebody can fact check that. But a lot of it just repeatedly, no. Kept pitching, kept tweaking, listening, and then got her first big sale and didn't go nuts. She just made her sale and then started growing. Yeah. Slightly. But she's like the epitome of just, I'm not going to stop. I believe in this and I'm just going to keep going.
There's going to be boring days. Yeah. There are going to be months and moments of doubt. Lots of them. I can see this from my own practice. I spent 13 to 15 years of building my practice basically broke. But I just love what I did. I loved the service I was providing. I loved the relationships. I was bought in. And I just felt that with God with my side, and if this was my purpose I was going to be doing, it was going to eventually help my family and pay for my family, and it did. I think any business is a game of attrition, right? If you're in it for the short term or in it to make a quick buck, you might win, but it's low probability. Probability. So,
yeah. I feel like there's a phrase about an overnight success, and they're like, people see the overnight success and they think, it happened in one day, but they're missing the 7 or the 10 years prior to it of the consistent hard work.
The ones that win are the ones who keep showing up, keep adjusting, right? And going through all these lists of solving the problem, testing things over and over, adjusting to those kind of things, knowing your customer, getting that feedback loop, and understanding that you got to have cash flow to fund the business. And in the example of Spanx, which is a good one, right? That her first big win, she didn't just take the profits and be like, oh, well, good for me. Yeah. She probably invested it right back in the business and grew it further.
And she's still around.
Bingo.
And I will say for us, our biggest key factor is the Lord.
Agreed.
God on our side, helping us and guiding us.
There is a really important factor that we talk about here at Mindset and want to share with you guys, that this idea of passion versus purpose, because God has a purpose for your life, and it's really important that you find and get tuned in with that, because that is a very, very key way, I think, that all of us can get aligned with what it is you should be doing. Because it also, I can say this from my own experience, finding that purpose, and I think we've talked about this as well, that's a big guiding light that keeps you in the game on the purpose when things get slow, when things get tough, right? Purpose matters more than passion.
100%.
And you can only find purpose through the guy who created you. Yeah. It's just that simple. Period. Exclamation point. Done.
Hey, Brad, I'm ready to start a company now.
Actually?
Yeah, let's do this.
Would you want to?
I mean, I need an idea. If you guys
refer back to number one.
It all starts with an idea.
Comment with an idea. I'd love to have one that I can take for free.
I could take for free.
But I'm ready. I have all the tips to help.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate you guys. I hope that was a fun one for you guys. It was for us. As always, thank you to our subscribers. And if you're new to our channel, thank you for listening and tuning in. We come out with what we think is some fun episodes every week. So you can follow us at Mindset with Brad Barrett on our socials. And until next week, as always, if you lead with love, it's going to be all right. See you guys.
Your negativity is my kryptonite.
I'm not negative. What are you talking about?
You're not negative, Kara.
Couldn't think of a better
I don't
way.
think I'm negative.
You're not negative. You're not negative. All right, we're starting this. What are we doing?
No more than me.
Here's the thing. I walked in here today with so much positivity, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to work today, and I'm gonna be the one that brings the energy. And I feel like you guys are trying to like stomp me down. Whoa.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm intentionally vampiring it out
Correct.
of you because I need some.
Okay.
Don't lump me into that.
I feel better though.
Do you? I feel worse. Which makes sense.
That's how that works. But the point is, I feel better. That's the point.
This is ridiculous. I'm gonna text Amy.
That's how it works.